What is up, everybody? It's Franchise Tag Fantasy Football back again with another episode. We are here to, what are we doing? Going over more news and notes. That's right. It's the off season. I keep forgetting that this is what this is. So we got Ray, we got Aaron, we got Brennan. We're here to talk about some stuff.
Some stuff and some things.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been so long since we've talked to you guys.
I feel like it's been so long since we've had a quick question of the day. So
Maybe.
It's true.
Maybe. And we're going to have a couple today. We're going to have one football related and one non-football related. But ladies and gentlemen, please stick around. We have a lot of news, a lot of notes, a lot of cool stuff to go over. Make sure you stick around to the end. We got something special for you at the end too. Something special.
Oh, something special.
Something special. All right. So first question of the day. This is non-football related, guys. What is the best burger? Burger and fries are a thing. Burger and fries are included. What are the best burger and fries?
Like combo from one place, or can we take burger from one and fries from another?
Nope, got to be the same.
Fast food or sit down?
Fast food. Has to have a drive-thru.
Okay, well, In-N-Out's trash, so it's automatically off the list.
Okay, that's just rude, but
Oh, we got an oddball. 1 and 3.
okay, I agree the fries aren't the best, but the burgers.
They're buns.
Oh, their buns are buns.
I already know Ray's answer, and it's just gonna make me have an aneurysm. So.
Go ahead, Ray. Start it off. I gotta think about mine.
It's Baker's, and it's not close. It's Baker's.
Is that a California thing?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Yes, it's gross.
Okay.
They charge you for refills.
That's bull.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, the burgers, they slap.
You know, I think you guys have them out there. You know what's pretty good? That I think might be kind of a more broader U.S. thing? Culver's.
We don't have Culver's.
Oh, it's in Arizona. That's where it stops, huh?
Yeah.
Dang.
I've had Culver's.
I had Culver's in the East Coast when I was stationed there, but
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to go more mainstream, really, I'm just gonna throw it out there, and you guys can throw it right back at me if you don't like it. Wendy's.
gross. I know that
Wendy's.
McDonald's.
Their new fries,
No way.
Wendy's new fries are trash, and Wendy's changes their fries too much. Wendy's fries, when we were a kid, that used to more represent the McDonald's fries. Let's have this argument. That used to represent more of the new style nowadays McDonald's fries, the ones you dipped into the Frosties and ate with your.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That's
And then
still a thing.
exactly, but Wendy's changes their fries too much because now they like just take a potato and cut it straight down and leave all the skin on it and everything and do their fries super thick cut, and they're more like a steak fry rather than a French fry. Don't appreciate it.
I had Wendy's today, and it's beautiful. What about you, Brennan? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I really have McDonald's. I mean, for me, if I'm going to pick something, though, it's burgers and fries. There's a mom and pop place that I live like a mile down. It's called Fantastic Cafe. It's a few chain restaurants. It's probably like I always will take mom and pop places anytime. So
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I agree.
Paris Burger's the heat, but like no one can get Paris Burger unless you're in Moreno Valley because it's off of Paris. Now for the real question.
I didn't get my
we're not
answer.
done.
I didn't get my
Oh,
answer.
go ahead. I thought you said Culver's. I thought you were in.
No. I was just saying maybe something more across where everyone is. But mine is
Okay.
Brahms. Number 6, jalapeno burger. It's like a Oklahoma, slightly Texas type, more localized to me.
So we're just doing that then. We're just going.
But if you want to, if you want an overall ginormous chain,
McDonald's.
Five Guys, they have pretty good burgers and fries.
They're just like overpriced for me.
They're super overpriced.
I can't with you guys right now. You guys have really.
Whataburger's pretty fucking good.
Stop it.
When you're
I will not. I will not.
Whataburger's okay. I'm not one of those like
not
in and out trumping Whataburger, but that was like when I got stationed there. Like I met Texans, they were just like, In and Out's trash. And I'm just like, cool, great.
That sounds dope. Thanks. I don't know. All right, so
everybody just sleeping on Burger King.
I hate Burger King.
Is trash.
I hate Burger King.
I can't
Oh
wait.
my God.
Yeah,
That's
it was one of the things I
disgusting.
never got from the BX when I had to go.
It's funny that you say that because the last time I had it was in Washington.
I don't
right
know
across
why.
the
I don't know why the DoD decided we're gonna partner with Burger King, Taco
Subway.
Bell, Subway, and Charlie's
Yep.
Chicken.
Hey, Charlie's is good. Don't
No,
sleep on
Charlie's
Charlie.
Chicken. Charlie's Chicken is the best thing there. They're like they're California.
Yeah,
The California Club or whatever it is.
I like the Philly cheesesteak they got.
Philly
It's good.
cheesesteak's good too, but it's like
Yeah.
out of everything that you could have partnered with, you pick these things.
Wild.
Could you imagine if they would
Let's-
partner with Chick-fil-A?
Let's get to football related things now. All right, last question of the day. Because Brendan
Wait.
wanted 2. He wanted to hit 2.
I want to know what everyone else thinks. If there's a localized from everyone else's kind of
True.
what they think. in
Yeah, let
comments.
us know in the comments, please. I want to know.
Fix your face.
I want to try everybody's because
I do
at
too.
heart I'm a fat kid,
Mhm.
and then on the outside I'm also a fat kid. So it works both ways.
It does.
I like to eat.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Best tight end in history is it Travis Kelce?
In history,
No.
Ooh.
I'd say it's Gronk.
Aaron?
Tony
do you got?
Gonzalez
See, I
or
would have
Antonio
said
Gates.
I would have said Tony Gonzalez.
I
But-
hate the Patriots, but it's Gronk.
I think it's got to be getting close to Kelce at this point. It's got to be.
If Kelsey has sustains another 3 seasons of elite play, I think he takes it.
So here's my argument on that. Everyone calls Tom Brady the greatest of all time, right? Everyone except for Brennan apparently calls Tom Brady the greatest of all time. One of them,
Most accomplished.
I would agree with most accomplished. All right, Gronk wouldn't play with anybody else other than Tom Brady. Kelsey's had to play with the likes of Alex Smith.
It was still good with them.
But Kelsey was good with him. But everyone considers Alex Smith kind of mediocre game manager,
Game manager.
right? So that's kind of where I base my argument off of. Okay, if you didn't play with the greatest of all time and one of the greatest coaches of all time, which granted Andy Reid could be put in that conversation too, so that kind of washes each other out. But where would he really be?
Hey, Aaron, he's playing with the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, he will be.
Who, Kelsey?
is.
Yeah, I know. And now
Yes,
look what
he
he's
is.
done. He's been a top 5 wide receiver for fantasy purposes, and he's not even a wide receiver. I get it.
I know.
So,
Let's just cut.
but I mean, I take it.
Cut the shit. If you're going to talk about the greatest of all time, athletically gifted, it is 100% Mahomes, and there is no argument to have in any other direction.
How'd you go from tight ends to quarterbacks now?
I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about that, we can talk about it. It's fine.
That's true.
This is the offseason, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's like.
That's fair.
Please drop what you guys think in the comments. I want to know what you guys think as
Honestly, I'd probably
the
say
greatest tight end.
Antonio Gates.
I would say Tony Gonzalez.
Sticking with Gronk,
I mean,
got it.
Yeah.
And then Gronk. And then Travis Kelce has to be somewhere in that mix for
It's the
everybody.
GOAT debate,
it's
right?
Gronk 1A, and then I'd say Travis Kelsey's 1B right now. I think if he has another 2 more seasons of just elite play, 1,000 yards, touchdowns, another Super Bowl ring definitely I think trumps it for sure. So
Yeah. I respect it. I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those GOAT debates. You could throw up,
oh yeah,
5 different names and have 5 different people give 5 different opinions. They're all in everyone we just named is in my top 5 for sure at the tight end position.
You just had 3 right now.
4.
You just had 3
technically.
right now. Well, yeah, technically 4, but 3 right,
Yeah.
3 realistically.
Who's the
right
5th?
now.
Who's the 5th? If we're gonna throw another one in the top 5, who's the 5th? Shannon Sharp.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm biased, but for me, it would be Dallas Clark. He caught ducks from
That's
Peyton
fair.
Manning with no gloves.
That's fair.
I would also put Jason Witten in the conversation.
That is
but
also
not.
fair.
But he ruined his career by being an announcer for a year, and then no one likes him now. So
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Kellen Winslow Sr. as well.
Yeah,
was
that's another good one.
he had that dog in him?
All right.
Dog in him. Well,
Aaron,
Brennan, would you
Yes.
like to get to the news?
love to.
News and notes. We got a drop for that, or no? We didn't get a drop for that. Still haven't got that. We're not there yet.
Are you gonna make a drop
news-
for it? I'll put it on the soundboard.
Could you stop putting these ridiculous claims on me? I'm too simple for that. All right, so Aaron Rodgers came out and has publicly stated that he wants to play for the Jets. He wants to continue his career. He would like to be moved to the Jets. Packers, please make this move. Take a 2nd-round pick and be done with it. Onward, please. I'm done talking about Aaron Rodgers. Jesus Christ.
Are you though? Because it's a long off season, brother.
This is a
And-
very
and-
long offseason, and they're
boy.
playing chicken right now.
It's a long off season.
Just-
What?
Can you please
Could
go on?
you imagine if Gunther is just so stubborn that he doesn't do it, and they're paying Aaron Rodgers $50 million just to be a backup?
It won't be a backup. It won't happen. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. I don't want to do
I
it.
do. I want to.
I don't want
Hey,
the
look,
show to
man.
be 4 hours long.
Look, carry the
I
G,
think-
but still, they're dumb at some point in time. And once again, I'll reiterate for all of you Packers fans, they're like, it's Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's just that and the other. The one year he had a top 10 defense, he won a Super Bowl. The next, the 2020, lost to Tampa Bay. Kevin King lost that one in the defense. The next season, lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship game. Special teams lost that one. And I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, you got to put up points on the Niners. There's a number 1 ranked defense that year. What do you like? What do you want? It's him and Devontae with a sprinkle of Aaron Jones.
Look, I'm just gonna throw out flat out that you ever see one of those your guys' friends that are just in a super toxic relationship? That's exactly what it is with Rodgers and the head office of the Green Bay Packers. It's literally just watching that over and over and over again. And I just want one off season where a quarterback shows up and does some things with the rookie receivers that are inbound, and they build a rapport, and we don't have all this drama. That's all I want. That's all I want as a Packer fan. Moving on, please, for the love of Christ.
All right, cool. Dalton Schultz signs.
I'm glad you guys.
Well, go ahead.
I'm glad you guys vented for the last 5 minutes about this, but for fantasy perspective, I mean, it's the Jets would be a huge winners in this move for obvious reasons. Finally, get the stability at the quarterback position. If they don't sign another receiver, I feel like Garrett Wilson will be the wide receiver 1. Right now, he sits at wide receiver 9, and the wide receivers ahead of him are Waddle, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, and Stephon Diggs. Would you guys take, if let's just say, like hypothetically, Aaron Rodgers is now traded to the Jets? If you're sitting there, would you move Wilson above those 4, or would you stagger him in between? Or
if the Bills do not pick up D-Hop, then I'm taking Diggs above him for sheer target volume, because we've seen the last 2 years it's either him or occasionally Gabe Davis. But I think
so the other names are
it's the borderline of Diggs and CD for me. Like, he could potentially slide in with those guys, but because I would definitely take Aaron Rodgers to take him over Waddle.
Yeah, I would have him over. I would take him over Waddle for sure, guaranteed. I would take him. My thing with Amon-Ra, he's just been so good. So, like, I mean, it's just been ridiculous. And then I think, honestly, because, like, I think his ceiling with Garrett Wilson being there is wide receiver 1. We saw with Devontae, he can do it. So, I mean, I when I play fantasy football, I play to win. So the possibility of me taking someone that can win me the league at that, I'll take it. Yep. I mean, I like this move for Breece Hall for obvious reasons. It boosts him up and everything else like that. But what we're not talking about here is the Packers here. Now Jordan Love becomes interesting for fantasy purposes. I mean, you guys obviously have seen it. So he's just that unknown aura of, like, could he be a sleeper QB for you guys? Because he has all the intangibles and being able to scramble right out of the pocket. And right now he sits at, QB 23 in best ball. So
I would think that he's a great if we're moving to Jordan Love, if that's the real option here, and Jordan Love is the starting quarterback for the Packers, I would be really, really interested in having him in a super flex, the second quarterback on my team. I would be really
He'd be
interested.
the third quarterback on my team, because I'd want 2 for sure. 1 for sure. 1 middle of the road guy I can flex in.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins kind.
Yep, exactly. And he's the wait and see. And if he blows up, it ends up being a thing, then awesome. For me personally, I pray and I hope and I pray that he's great, right? But I don't think in his first season as a starter, you saw with Rodgers, they went 6-10. Aaron Rodgers' first season as a starter. Yeah, he pretty much did light the world on fire that year, but the defense that Aaron Rodgers had gave up a ton of points. They went 6-10, right? Our defense, not known for standing tall when it comes to trying to win games. Hopefully Watson and Dubs will take a step this year. But I don't necessarily see it happening, man. I mean,
I've seen a lot of mocks with JSN going to the Packers, and I'm like, it's too early to get hyped right now. It's too early.
Packers,
what pick do you guys have?
15.
15.
Gunter Kuntz will never draft something other than a defensive player in the first round.
I will text both of you if you guys take a wide receiver in the first round, and all my other Packers friends say, how do you guys feel about taking a wide receiver finally? I just want to see all your reactions.
Great. If it's JSN, I would lose it. I would go crazy.
I'd say I only wish it could have happened about 5 years ago.
I want Darnell Washington and JSN on this roster so bad. But I know it's not going to happen because I want it. It's going to be a cornerback. It's probably going to be a safety they convert to cornerback. It's probably what's going to happen.
It'll be one of those Pac-12 corners that can't really stop a cold. Kevin King.
Or or a project defensive end / outside linebacker that ends up being a thing, but it's 3 years out.
You know what they need to do since they have or are getting rid of Rodgers? They need to turn around and sign Rashawn Gary as soon as they can for cheaper than what he's going to be worth when his contract comes up.
I bet that conversation is happening right now. I bet it is.
Has to be.
Because if not, he will be $100 million guy before you blink.
But anyways, that's probably long enough on that one. Once again, I'll reiterate. Dalton Schultz, 1-year deal with the Texans for $9 million.
That's so sad.
Didn't the Cowboys offer him like a 3-year deal, $12 million a year?
I thought they did, but it was so weird that it's just I'm not a huge fan of him going to the Texans. I mean, like obviously they're going to take a rookie quarterback, and they just tend to stray away from the tight ends for some reason. I really don't know what to do with him because he'll be a high risk, low reward type of player. I mean, right now he sits at tight end 11 with the average pick of 124. I mean, I probably will just stay away.
Yeah, this year most definitely I believe is probably going to be an early tight end year for most people.
I could only see Dalton Schultz being relevant in any draft capital at all if you have just a super tight end premium league. Like tight ends specifically get like 8 points for a touchdown or some crazy shit. But outside of that, I wouldn't touch Dalton Schultz with a 27-foot pole that Aaron's holding. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and it's also it's a huge loss for Dak. Like, I mean, like he was a safety blanket and he was a viable tight end for Dak. I mean, I figured this was like an easy sign for the Cowboys, but I mean, right now as it sits in their depth chart, Jake Ferguson's up next, and he will be the tight end 1 for them unless they decide to draft somebody, and he's sitting at tight end 27. So
I think Ferguson will have a pretty good year
more.
because last year was his rookie year, and I specifically remember Ray and I talking about him, especially coming on towards the end of the season quite a bit.
So. I like his value, especially I like his value more than I like Dalton Schultz, honestly. And that's sad to say. I think Dalton Schultz is a good tight end. He's a great tight end. Not like top 3, 4, but he's a great option to stream in. He's a great option to pick up because he didn't draft a tight end. Not anymore. And I think Tony Ferguson took that role from him in draft orders.
Yeah. But on to the next news. The Browns have made a big splash trade. They are trading for the Jets' speedy wide receiver, Elijah Moore, and it was pick number 42 for Moore and pick 74.
I like that move.
Yeah.
Wait, picks what? Sorry.
It was picks 42 and more for picks 74. So it was the second and more for pick 74. So they moved back 32 picks, whatever it was, and they got more. Elijah Moore.
Oh, so the Browns gave up pick 42, yes. And okay, that makes sense.
Yes,
that makes sense. I was like, okay, well, all right. So
yeah, I know. When I first saw it, I was like, man, they give up a second and third. I saw I read it the first time, and then my buddy was like, no, they moved back just 32 spots, and then they got Elijah Moore, which I mean, I was flabbergasted after it finally hit me that was the actual trade. I mean, this is probably one of the best case scenarios for him and the players around him. I'm not really, it doesn't really affect, Amari Cooper. It doesn't affect David Njoku's stock, in my opinion. I'm not going to buy into David Bell or Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, he kind of slides in as that wide receiver too, and he's going to be a really good sleeper for this year, probably for a lot of people. And the Jets just botched this so bad with them.
They did. Honestly, like you have almost free labor. You have a very talented receiver. And what you did was you brought in Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was trash, like all of us thought he was going to be. And
you heard it here first, people. It was out of my mouth.
And that's what happens, when you piss players off and they don't want to play for you anymore. And now you have to give up, you have to give up capital. You have to give up capital. That's what it was. I know they got a second-round pick back from it.
They're not keeping that second-round pick.
No, that's the Packers' second-round pick. But I just don't understand like how you shit the bed that much. How'd you do it? But for Elijah Moore, are you feeling like you would be comfortable with him as let's say a later round flyer, let's say 10th round? Think that's acceptable? 9th round? Is that where
he's going? Pick 109. He's wide receiver 53. 53. Sorry, 52, 109. My apologies.
I'm trying to think. 109, 12 teams. That's 8th round.
I would be comfortable in the 9th. I would be really comfortable. You're taking a flyer, see what's happening, see if there's some chemistry between him with Deshaun Watson. And we've seen Deshaun Watson in his career with speedy receivers. I don't necessarily see Elijah Moore as like a speedy receiver. I see him as a shifty receiver. But we've seen him with that kind of talent before in Will Fuller. And
let me ask you, Juju or Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore. I don't trust Mac Jones and the Patriots.
Okay. Darnell Mooney or Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore.
Yeah, because DJ Moore kind of ruins Darnell Mooney.
Michael Thomas or Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore.
I refuse. I plead the fifth.
I mean, these are players that I just said that are going ahead of him right now on the depth chart. So I think as time moves forward, they'll probably move up. I think where he stops will probably be wide receiver 45 or Brandon Cooks is. That's where I probably see the line of where they'll probably be the same.
I'd still take Elijah Moore over Brandon Cooks regardless. I still would. Yes.
Would you though?
Yes. You
have more faith. You have more faith in the Browns' offense than the Cowboys.
I have more faith in Elijah Moore playing than I do Brandon Cooks playing a full season at this point.
Brandon Cooks is now sliding into the number 2 role, so he's not going to take as much heat.
Is he?
Yeah.
You sure?
CD will be the number 1 in that offense no matter what.
Not saying CD. I'm saying they have Tony Brown. They have Michael Gallup. Are they? Is Brandon Cooks guaranteed to be the number 2 there? I don't believe that.
I do.
I think so.
I do. I do think if they keep Gallup on the roster, they then move CD to the slot because they're going to watch what the Cardinals did with Larry Fitzgerald, and then all of a sudden, I'm giving Mike McCarthy too much credit right now.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that's what he does. But it'll be Cooks on the outside, Gallup on the outside, and CD running the slot. And if they don't do it, they're dumb.
That's how I see it. I don't necessarily like Brandon Cooks. I'm kind of off of him right now, but maybe towards the draft, maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, that's how I'm feeling. There's a lot of talk about Brandon Cooks. I don't like it.
Well,
I don't like it.
Well,
let's coming up.
Move along then.
Yeah, moving on. The Panthers are signing Adam Thielen to a 3-year deal. Not sure what the monetary value is there. I don't know.
3 years, $22 million, 14 or $25 million, 14 guaranteed.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, this is really on the back end of his career. He's 32-year-old and 32 years old. I mean, here, let me give you guys some stats for last year. He ran the second most routes in all of the NFL and only got 766 yards. So
Justin Jefferson.
But that stat alone should just deter you away from going anywhere near him. I mean, he's going right now as wide receiver 67, so ADP of 152. It's like a late round 12th. I could see him probably moving up just because of the name. A lot of people will probably be like, oh, but it's Adam Thielen. Like, it's just like I probably won't go anywhere near him.
It's funny because we were talking about it right when it happened, Brennan, and I was saying, like, you know, I kind of like the move for the Panthers. I think it's a good move, especially with some more news we're going to have later. But with young quarterbacks, most likely CJ Stroud, he's going to have to rely on a veteran out there that's running a lot of routes and hopefully getting open, a possession guy. And I think in PPR formats in the 13th round, that's probably where I'm feeling 12th, 13th round. That's where I'm feeling comfortable with. Like, let's say you need to fill out the back end of your roster.
He's a best ball dream for sure.
Yeah, I would say like best ball, if he's in the 13th or maybe 14th if he fell, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, because he's going to have touchdown games. He's going to.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have
he'll have PPR games. Yeah, he'll have big PPR games.
Yeah. Because of CJ Stroud. Because that's who they're drafting. That's it. They're ain't drafting nobody else. But I like the move. But if you have to take him any higher, even right now, I don't think it's going to change. Then 11th, I'm not interested. Not interested. No, thank you. And redraft for sure. Not interested.
Nope. All right. We have a lot of news to cover still, and we got to burn through it.
Yeah, it's power through.
Panthers signed DJ Chark to a 1-year deal, as you just said, helps the rookie quarterback there as well. They just signed 2, what I would consider middle of the road to bigger names.
I call it misfit toys for receiving core.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's not a terrible receiving core when you look at it. It's like, oh, Adam Thielen, and then You got DJ Chark, but you know what would have been really cool if they had DJ Moore. Like, it's just.
I just feel like teams feel like it's easier to replace a wide receiver than it is to get a franchise quarterback. So
until you have to replace a receiver.
Until you have to replace. Yeah, but anyways, that's pretty much it for the Panthers, right?
Yeah, so far. I mean, so on to the other news, the Cowboys have traded for Brandon Cooks. He is now going to be their wide receiver too.
That's why I say this is why I think he's the number 2 wide receiver. You don't trade for somebody if you're not going to use them.
Yeah, I'm not a Cowboys hater by any means, but the moves they've made this offseason have been very solid moves. They traded for Stephon Gilmore for a 5th round. I believe Brandon Cooks was also a 5th rounder or 4th, and they're just filling out the chart really well. I mean, the Cowboys had probably one of the worst teams in separation, and Cooks is excellent in that. I mean, he was putting up wide receiver 1 numbers with one of the worst offenses in the league. I like this move a lot. I think this helps him out tremendously. Cooks is probably going as the wide receiver 45 as ADP and ADP of 88. I mean, he's going around. Let me ask you guys, who would you guys rather have, Gabe Davis or Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks.
I'm super high. I was super high on Gabe Davis last year, but I realized it's not going to be a thing, so now it's Brandon Cooks for sure.
Okay, Jahan Dotson or Brandon Cooks?
Commanders are just awful.
So that's a sensitive subject for me. Jahan Dotson. I think the talent's real.
I'd probably take Brandon Cooks.
I think the talent's real.
Rashad Bateman or Brandon Cooks.
Oh my God, no.
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I think Brandon Cooks.
As of this point in time, Brandon Cooks, because you don't know if Lamar is going to play.
I had it as Rashad Bateman as the quarterback with Lamar Jackson. That's where I had my rankings. I was like, I think Lamar's still going to stay. I think Lamar's still going to stay with the Ravens at the end of the day.
If Lamar stays, I'm for sure taking Rashad Bateman.
All right.
I for sure am. With a real full season of health, if he can stay healthy, which he can't. But if he can, my God, Rashad Bateman's ceiling is through the roof. But
that's just because Ray wanted him on the Packers, so he's kind of skewed.
I mean, and then from the Texans standpoint, they now easily have the worst wide receiver core in the league. It's Robert Woods, Nico Collins, John Mitchie, and you guys' favorite, Amari Rodgers.
Oh, God.
So they have picks 2, 12, I think 33, 65. I think they're definitely the 12th pick. I think they're going to take a wide receiver. I think that's my shot. They're going to help someone.
That's whoever Ray wants to. That's whoever Ray wants is going to go. Want,
yeah.
It doesn't matter, Ray, if you switch your pick, if you switch your name 5 times between now and the draft, whoever you end up with, that's who they're going to take.
No, they're taking JSN for sure. Like that, there's no way, because I would be just flabbergasted if we got a guy that is that athletic. I'd be flabbergasted. But yes,
they definitely take a pick at 12 for wide receiver. That's what I'm going to call.
I agree. I completely agree. Good on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next news. What did you call him? Sussel Wilson.
Wilson.
Suspect Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
He had a orthoscopic surgery on his knee.
There you go. You aren't meant to be a doctor. We got it.
No, not at all. Orthoscopic surgery on his knee. Will be ready by OTAs. I don't really care. If you're drafting Russell Wilson, you have bigger cojones than I will ever have in my life.
But Sean Payton.
I don't care.
That's fair. You just got burned by him last year. Don't listen. Ray's too emotional for this stuff.
Right now, yes. Right now.
I mean, this was totally the reason why he was bad, right? I mean,
no.
Oh,
sure.
It's just always funny that, whenever you see a player that used to be very good, I always seem to hear that he was going through an injury from the past season. It's always teeter-totter with those things. Yeah. But
I'm not interested.
I thought, this surgery is pretty good. He gets to do some high knees on the plane rides for his teammates.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Could you imagine?
I can't do it.
Could you imagine an 8.5-hour flight and everyone's trying to sleep and just oh my God.
When I first heard that, I thought that was fake. I was like, there's no way this is real.
Man. It was. That's the shitty thing. And you know what? I bet he hypes himself up by looking at a mirror and being like, let's ride.
Stop.
Let's ride. I bet he does.
Because you know what I think of? I think of Paul Rudd, and what movie is that with Jennifer Aniston? And he's like, you're going to take this. You know what I'm talking about?
What's the next news? I'm done talking about suspect Wilson.
So, let's see. DeAndre Hopkins, trade rumors, definitely getting hot. As it says here, more of a matter of when, not so much as a matter of if.
Yeah.
So what is I heard Buffalo super hot. Who else is he going to talk? Buffalo, I
I
think, is
heard-
probably the hottest I think I've heard.
I think the teams that I've heard like confirmed, it's the Chiefs,
Yep.
it's Buffalo, it's the Ravens, and there's another team. I don't know who.
Oh, one of them was. I think it was the Pats, wasn't it?
The Pats were. I think the Pats died out once they signed Juju. I think I didn't hear anything else that they were still
Oh, that's
interested
true.
after that.
The Pats
after that
only
signing,
do
but
the Pats only do things like sign 2 tight ends for stupid amounts of money.
yeah.
I've heard the Bills more than everybody else
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the betting odds. I'm not sure. I'm sure if it was there, it'd probably be Buffalo, probably be the favored. I mean, but if he went to Buffalo, it'd be amazing. He's 31. He can still play at an elite level. I mean, these were his games when he came back. He was 10-103, 12-1, 59-1, 436-1, 991, 487-1, 779, 760, and then he had that one game where he got injured with 1 reception, 4 yards. But
That's about Kyler too.
yeah, it's without Kyler.
I know, it's so ridiculous. If he goes to Buffalo for cheap, dude, yeah.
I mean, so the 4 teams there, where would you like him to go for fantasy purposes?
Fantasy purposes,
Kansas City.
Kansas City
obviously.
or Buffalo would be great.
Yeah.
I would say
I-
Kansas City because he'd be
I
the
would
clear
say-
number one receiver.
No, because Travis
outside of
Kelce's still
Kelce.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
wait,
wait,
outside of
I
Kelce.
would still take him.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
'cause
I mean, look at
look at what
Tyreek and
Juju
Kelsey.
did.
Yeah,
Look
it
at
worked
what
out.
Juju
I mean, his
That's
current
right.
ADP. So let's just say he does go to the Chiefs. His current ADP right now is wide receiver 17, ADP 35. That's going to jump up insanely, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he
The
goes
guys
to
in
the
front
Chiefs,
of
he's going
him.
back in the first round.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll
so
be 11
he's-
for sure.
He's got DK Metcalf or Hopkins,
I'm taking D Hop.
If he's on Kansas City, I would take D Hop.
Debo Samuel.
D Hop.
D Hop for sure.
I
Chris
do like
Olave.
I do like Debo's utilization, but Debo just like D Hop, Debo gets hurt, and it seems to be that Debo's out longer when he does get hurt.
Yeah.
And the question marks at quarterback right now for San Francisco are too
That's fair.
high for me to want to take Debo that high. They're too high. Your last question was Olave or D Hop?
Mhm.
D Hop.
Probably D Hop.
If I'm in a
That was
dynasty,
close.
and I have D Hop, this will probably be the last year that I want him, and hopefully he goes to the Chiefs and just kills. That way, we can
Oh.
try to ship him off next year.
I shipped him off 2 years ago for 2 firsts, and I'm so happy about that.
As I
so,
said, that works.
That's a good move. That's a good
This
move.
is a good move.
Yeah. So right now, Odell Beckham is looking to get a sign very soon. He's just looking for a 1-year kind of prove it deal. I mean, the teams that seem the most interest right now are the Jets. They seem to be the most interested.
They just want to get Rodgers in there so bad.
I know. It's the Jets, the Bills, the Ravens, and also the Chiefs. So again, they were just interested in of the same teams are interested in D Hop, so it makes sense. But
It does make
I mean,
sense.
As the resident Garrett Wilson truther, I would still say that if Odell goes to the Jets and Aaron Rodgers is there,
cry.
I am still all on board for Garrett Wilson finishing as a receiver one. I still am. Not the receiver one,
I agree.
but a receiver one.
I agree. I mean, look at
Yeah.
what he did. Look at what Rodgers did when he had Jordy and Cobb, and then Devontae was like his first or second year kept dropping passes. Like he supported 2 top 24 wide receivers.
And I do believe that Garrett Wilson's talent is rare. It's not. Look at what he did with absolute garbage.
Talking
at
about
quarterback.
offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. So let's put this in perspective because we have D Hop and Odell. Which one would you prefer to go to the Chiefs? Which one would you prefer to go to the Bills?
D Hop.
Because obviously the two top teams. So which would you prefer to which one would stand out more?
D Hop to the Chiefs.
D Hop to the Chiefs would be a target monster. It'd be the him and Kelsey show from
It
then-
would be D Hop to the moon.
And then Odell would be. I think personally, Odell, maybe not. And at this point in his career with all the injuries, not as good as Stephon Diggs, but better than Gabe Davis. So he'd be the perfect number 2 to fit in that system and just make it work. Because
Yeah.
I would.
at this point in time in Odell's career, sorry to cut you off again, Ray, like the 1-year prove it deal that he's trying to get, I feel like he's trying to be like, cool, I'm a team player. I'm just going to take what I get when I get it. I am going to demand some respect and some targets, but I'm not looking to be the number 1. I'm looking to just get another 3-year contract for $33 million guaranteed and call it a day.
Yeah.
I feel as though, and that we're going real long in the tooth
are.
here. I feel as though right now, Odell is a surefire receiver 2 pretty much wherever he goes with a decent quarterback. Whereas, and that's his ceiling. Whereas D-Hop has the ceiling to be a top 6 receiver in the league if he goes to the Chiefs. That's how I view both the talent level and the fact that Odell has had way more injuries than D-Hop has. Way more.
Yeah.
Yep.
So mine is next here. Zeke has been released by the Cowboys. He's narrowing it down, and it has to be the Eagles. It has to be. It doesn't make sense to go anywhere else. If he went to the Jets, that'd be stupid because he'd be the 3rd running back on that depth chart. But he's narrowed it down to the Jets, Eagles, and Bengals. Personally, I think it has to be the Eagles. It has to be.
Well, it's funny because he said those are the 3 teams, but the Bengals head coach came out yesterday and said, "Well, this is news to us. We had no idea we were interested in him."
It's got to be the Eagles.
I mean, it's just funny that because I mean, I'm not drafting him no matter where he goes. He looked like he lost a step last season. It's very obvious. I mean, whether he was injured or not, one of those players that played through an injury, but it's
if he goes to the Eagles, he would be a target as a 0 RB strategy. He'd be a target.
I'd still take Rashad Penny over him. I think everybody would, but I'm taking Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny when he's on the field is lights out.
0 times can he do it for a whole season though?
Just need him for a couple games. That's the case.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's the next one here?
Dan Snyder will sell the Commanders. He's a piece of shit, allegedly.
No, huge.
So
that's
pretty much it. All right, rapid fire. Let's go.
All right. Well, unfortunately, so Foster Moreau signed with the Saints, and luckily the Saints training staff discovered it while giving him a physical, but he unfortunately was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So fuck cancer, but I hope he gets it through. Hopefully they caught it soon. So
yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah, I haven't seen the news on that, but hopefully that is something that is caught stage 1 and that's it. And he's back to playing football soon. Damian Harris to the Bills for a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Sucks to be a James Cook owner.
That hype train was short-lived for a whole whopping 4 hours.
That sucks.
It was.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean his ADP. I mean he'll be pretty interesting for me, in my opinion. I think he could be a little sneaky 0 RB kind of guy. He's going as
PPR guy.
Yeah, RB 42 right now. So this is for Damian Harris. He's RB 42.
Okay. Marcus Mariota signs with the Eagles for 1 year, $5 million guaranteed with incentives up to $8 million. I think that's just a backup for Jalen since they lost Gardner Minshew.
Yep. Yeah, they finally got their guy. The Eagles finally got him
after all these years.
Rashad Penny to the Eagles for a 1-year deal. Again, I think he's RB1 right now as it sits. I think the Eagles will probably take a running back in this draft, but if it sits right now, Rashad Penny's on that depth chart, I will gladly take Rashad Penny wherever he goes at whatever ADP he's at. I think he would. I mean, the running back in that offense feasts. So.
I guess I'm just a bearer of bad news here. Texans have signed Devin Singletary to a 1-year deal. That sucks for Dameon Pierce owners. Boy.
Yeah, this could easily be one of the biggest headaches of a timeshare in the backfield because, I mean, you got to remember the head coach is coming from San Francisco. He's bringing the entire staff over, and they do running back by committee kind of thing. And, I mean, Pierce he's not a part of this reign. He wasn't drafted by this head coach, so he has no ties to him. So I could definitely seeing it being in backfield in a timeshare, so not really stoked on it.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that just sucks. Why does Devin Singletary have to be in the league? That sucks. He sucks.
All right. Dearness Johnson signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars on a 1-year deal. How does that make you feel?
It's all backup.
What about ETN?
I think I think it's still ETN no matter what.
You don't think so? Because Dearness Johnson, most people, if you asked him, he could have gave Kareem Hunt a run for his money and being part of the 1-2 punch.
I think that if ETN goes down, man, Dearness Johnson is a real nice pickup. Real nice. And I guarantee that sometime in this season, somebody's going to have to spend a lot of fab to get him. I'm not drafting Dearness Johnson, but boy, if ETN goes down, that fab price goes through the roof, baby. Whoa.
Let's see the notes here. I have Nelson Aguilar 1-year deal to the Ravens.
Wow. Lamar's going to be super excited about that one.
Mediocre signing of the week.
Cool. Next piece of news.
Marquise Callaway 1-year deal to the Broncos.
Cool.
No one gives a shit.
Next piece of news. Brown signed Marquise Goodwin to a 1-year deal. Next
Again,
piece of
nobody
news.
gives a shit.
All right, I'll wrap up. I'll just be able to finish these bad boys out. I got Isaiah McKenzie going to my Colts. Yay. I'm super excited.
That's tough.
Just put your bets in for the Super Bowl, boys. We're going.
That's tough.
And then we have Austin Hooper to the Raiders on a 1-year deal. We got Mecole Hardman to the Jets. And then finally, as our last bit of notes, we have Ronald Jones to the Cowboys on a 1-year deal.
That's a good, just kind of change of pace back for hopefully Tony Pollard will be back in time.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're done with pretty much most of the news, the last piece of news we have, really, right? Yeah, the last real piece of news we got for coming through here. NFL owners are considering flexing Thursday night football. So weeks 14 through 17 teams will be given 15 days notice of a flex. Maybe that means we get some better Thursday night football.
You mean we don't see the Broncos on it 4 times in a row where they can't
swear
score more
to
than
God.
10 points?
I swear to God.
You know why? Do you know why they're probably flexing Thursday night football?
Because of the Broncos.
No, because Jeff Bezos paid too much money to have the Broncos on that
On Amazon Prime,
4 times. Yep.
That was the most pathetic showing.
They were
Every
supposed
time
to be
they were on
so
prime
good.
time. So bad.
Dude, the Colts-Broncos game was the greatest game on Thursday Night Football. All field goals. What are you talking about?
You know what I like to watch is soccer on my Thursday night
But
football.
you've said yourself, kickers aren't people, so for fantasy purposes, it doesn't even matter.
Hey, in your guys' league, kickers are real people, apparently.
They're
so
Not
it's
in
no
my
problem.
league.
They're
Not
not.
in my league.
No,
My former
they're not.
resignation letter went into that league. I
I don't
quit.
think that's true. I don't think
Hey, if
that's
you
true.
guys are listening, I'm not playing in the keeper league next year.
I don't think they're listening. Go ahead, Brandon. What do you got next?
All right, so this is something I saw as a trend that might be picking up for our, next year's the current top ADPs for fantasy quarterbacks right now. Josh, the Great White Hope, sits as an average pick of 18th overall. Patty the Batty Mahomes is at 19th overall. Jalen Hurts at 20th overall. And then Fields at 33rd, and Joe Burrow's at 37th. Is this the new trend we're going to be seeing? I mean, as we evolve, fantasy players evolve as well. So we'll be seeing,
There's
'cause
5
last year-
quarterbacks in the top 3 rounds.
Yes.
Jesus.
We got to think about it. I mean, would you guys get a guaranteed QB1 who's going to put up, 25 to 30 points? Or, I think that's what now we're seeing.
I
Because
would.
I took Mahomes in the 5th round last year.
I would.
Steal.
I mean, honestly, I that is a steal. And draft mentality, at least for the last, I would say probably 4 years, is starting to shift where you need instead of late round quarterback streaming tight ends, you the onesie positions like that. I feel like you need to start shoring up, or at least trade throughout the season to shore up that position to even make a run at the ship anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you all 5 guys, you basically were in the playoffs or even in the championship with those guys.
Yep.
And if you look at it, just the way you can break it down is, what were you going to get last season in the 3rd round? Would you rather have had in the beginning of the 3rd, top of the 3rd? Would you have rather had a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or would you rather have had like a Deontay Johnson or something?
Or
like that?
David Montgomery, he was going
Or-
top 3rd. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
David Montgomery or something like that, And really, that trend has changed, has shifted from RB heavy early because there's not so many bell cow running backs anymore. It's all split up.
Yep.
So you
The
can
70% threshold's diminishing.
you can divvy up that work so you can get those running backs a little later. And it's been pivotal for people that have won leagues in the last few seasons. Something to remember going forward. A little nugget for you guys because we love you guys. A little nugget.
Yeah. So, got anything else?
I do. One more thing.
Oh,
One more thing.
Jesus.
This is the special thing that I wanted to hold till the very end. If you guys stuck around, if you guys loved us and wanted to hear more of us, or wanted to play fantasy football with us, Aaron and I will be starting up a dynasty league. We'll all be in it here, and we'll love to get some more people into it. It's the dynasty startup for the franchise tagged fantasy football podcast viewership. So if you would like to get in there, drop a comment, join the Discord, let us know what's going on, and we'll get you in the league.
Just remember, kickers get all the extra points just to make Aaron happy.
And that's it. And that's the show.
No. No, kickers will not be in the Dynasty League. So
It'll just be all kickers.
If you have a firm infatuation with kickers, please do not even apply to come into
Kickers
the league.
heavy.
Oh man. Anyways, we went straight to Dynasty. I figured it'd be a redraft. But we went straight to Dynasty League.
We'll do whatever you got what the viewership wants. We'll do what the viewership wants.
I feel like we'll talk about it offline. Anyways, guys, we are coming out with a TikTok. I believe the man down at the bottom of the screen here is going to be in charge of that one.
Working on it here soon.
It's working on it, so it is coming. We promise. We're getting a little stuff set up on the back end. We found a new program to run, but that will be probably in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for the announcement of that. As always, guys, please go to driftlessjerky.com. Use code franchise tag for 10% off your order. As Ray alluded to earlier, join the Discord. We will be doing all sorts of fun stuff. We'll probably do weekly matchups on DraftKings where we all just for free come in and play, or if you guys want to bet real money, I'm all about taking your guys' money. So we'll try to figure that out before the season comes. So ears out for that as well. Also, please hit the notification bell so you know anytime we drop new content. Hit the thumbs up thumbs up on this video. It really helps us in the algorithm. And as always, smash that subscribe button, and we will see you later.